Greetings, YouTube. Bonus points to anyone that can tell me where this university is without using the internet to search for it. Naloxone is a drug which helps to reverse opiate overdoses such as heroin or morphine. So if someone is in an overdose situation because they took too much heroin or they took too strong an amount of purity level of heroin in a dose that they would have normally taken, or if they've taken too much morphine from any source, and they go into an overdose situation, naloxone can help reverse that. It doesn't make everything go away. They are still going to be in drug withdrawal, which is a miserable state to go through, but they won't die. The problem is, and this will probably not shock you in any way, shape, or form, is that there is a Republican governor, Maine Governor Paul LePage, who appears to oppose a bill which would increase access to this in the state of Maine. And the reason that they want to do this is because it could save lives. And in Maine, the fatal heroin doses in Maine quadrupled from 2011 to 2012. And that means that there are many people whose lives could have been saved if they'd had access to this. And they actually want to put it into the hands of police, firefighters, and families of at-risk users. I mean, they want this drug right at the point where a person who is overdosing can get it immediately. Again, they're still going to go through withdrawal. It's still going to be miserable. But the governor's still opposing this. And here's a quote. His main objection is his belief, and I have to emphasize his belief because there is no evidence that supports this at all, his belief that increasing the availability of Narcan, which is the commercial version, name of the drug, will lead the drug user or drug abuser to have this feeling of invisibility. That's twisted. By that same logic, I shouldn't have access to medication that lowers my blood pressure or helps my cholesterol, because that means I'm going to go out, have lots of salt, and eat lots of fatty food. Or you should just take insulin away from diabetics, because they obviously don't need this medication. It just encourages them to bad behavior. My father had a quadruple bypass. We're going to get rid of one of those things. No more bypass surgeries. Because that just encourages people to live slothful lives with fatty food. Now, if they knew that if they didn't keep themselves healthy, they would die, of course, they would live a healthy life. Now, there's a picture that goes along with this particular article. Governor LePage doesn't look like the most athletic individual. I'm curious that within his lifespan, perchance he's had medical assistance in helping him with a medical condition or two. Should we do away with those medications? Obviously, he's of the belief that if you have a drug available that will fix a problem, that will encourage people to have the problem. That's insane. This drug will save lives. To the best of my knowledge, there is no downside to this drug. It doesn't do anything other than reverse the overdose. The person is still going to be in medical distress. They're just not going to die. And if someone isn't dead, there's always the hope for recovery. And isn't that the best possible, most humane thing that we can do to someone that's got a drug problem? Is to help them to recover? Isn't it an outgrowth of empathy, sympathy, and compassion that we would help people who have addictions to overcome those addictions? Now, I'm not saying we absolve them of responsibility for what they did during the addiction. I was raised by an abusive alcoholic. But I'm saying if our society can help them take a step towards recovery, we should take it. And the most basic step we can take is making sure they don't die. To me, this is absolutely the most intelligent and simplest and most direct thing that we can do. Heck, it's part of the Hippocratic Oath, do no harm. And we're helping to prevent death. I can't think of a better definition of do no harm. I can't imagine how LePage wrapped his head around this. I'm not sure that he was ever going to tell us. But people in Maine should really think about what this guy's doing. And come around next election, they shouldn't vote for this guy.